Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're doing something special. We're going to step inside the mind of BTS's Jungkook by analyzing his actual interview script. Textbooks are great for the basics, but if you want to understand how a native speaker expresses deep thoughts, humble regrets, and personal dreams, you have to look at real-life conversations. So let's dive in. In the first scene, Jungkook starts with a very honest reflection on his past work, saying, 근데 딱 하나 드는 생각이 왜 좀 더 안 했을까? 왜? 그래도 2달이라는 시간이 되게 긴데 더 할 수 있지 않았을까? 좀 후회를 많이 하지 않았나? This means he's wondering why he didn't do more, even though 2 months is a long time. You'll notice the phrase 드는 생각, which is a very common way Koreans describe a thought entering or occurring to them. It feels much more spontaneous than just saying, I think. Another key nuance is the ending, 하지 않았나. Instead of making a flat statement like, I regretted it, he uses this reflective question style to say, I suppose I had many regrets, didn't I? This makes him sound incredibly humble and thoughtful. Moving into the second scene, the interviewer gives him a warm, formal welcome. 정국, 롤링스톤의 커버에 다시 오신 것을 환영합니다. This is a classic welcome back to the cover of Rolling Stone. A really important structure here is 오신 것을. By adding the honorific shin for respect and then got to the verb 오다, the act of coming becomes a noun that can be officially welcomed. Also, pay attention to the placement of the word 다시. Unlike in English, where we often put back or again at the very end of the sentence, in Korean, 다시 sits right before the action it describes, which makes the welcome feel very fluid and direct. In the third scene, Jungkook gets modest about his global status. 일단은 제가 뭔가 팝스타라고 생각을 아직 못하고 있는 것 같은데. He's essentially saying he doesn't quite see himself as a pop star yet. A key grammar point here is 팝스타라고. That 라고 attached to the title functions like quotation marks, signaling the specific label he is referring to. Then, look at the layered ending. 고 있는 것 같은데. He combines the progressive am doing form with it seems like, which is the perfect way to express a soft, ongoing feeling. It's much more polite than a direct, I don't think, showing that he's still processing his own fate. In the fourth scene, he acknowledges the support of the people around him. 일단은 그런 식으로 뭔가 인터뷰를 해주시고 또 팬분들도 뭔가 그런 식으로 생각을 해주니까 일단은 고맙고. He is expressing gratitude because both the media and the fans view him in such a positive light. You'll see the phrase 인터뷰를 해주시고, where the verb 해주다 is used. This is a benefactive form, meaning he recognizes that the interviewer is doing this for his benefit. It adds a layer of deep politeness. He then connects this to his gratitude using 니까, which means since or because. It shows that his thankfulness is a direct result of how others have treated him. In the fifth scene, he looks toward his future aspirations. 그래서 좀 더 계속해서 잘해서 진짜 뭔가 제 스스로 그런 느낌이 났으면 좋겠어요. 언젠가. He's hoping that one day, he will truly feel like a star in his own heart. Notice how he stacks the actions in 계속해서 잘해서 to describe a persistent, ongoing effort of doing well. The core of his wish lies in the ending. 왔으면 좋겠어요. When he attaches this to 느낌이 나다, which means for a feeling to emerge, he is expressing a sincere, heartfelt hope. It's like saying, it would be so wonderful if that feeling finally arrived for me. Finishing with 언젠가 at the very end adds a touch of poetic patience to his goal. In the sixth scene, Jungkook gets very practical about his goals. 일단 그러니까 뭐가 필요한지는 저도 정확하게 알고 있어요. 일단 영어를 잘해야 되는데. He's acknowledging that he knows exactly what's required of him specifically, improving his English. You'll notice the phrase 뭐가 필요한지. Here, the 는지 ending attached to 필요하다, to be necessary, creates an indirect question, meaning what is necessary. It's a great way to say, I know what, or I know how. He ends this thought with 영어를 잘해야 되는데, using the 어야 되다 structure to express a strong obligation or necessity. By trailing off with 는데, he adds a layer of honest hesitation, as if saying, I know I have to, but it's a big task. Interestingly, in scene 7, he finds a reason to be optimistic. 그래서 그나마 다행인 점 같아요. 일단은 듣는 귀가 좀 좋은 편인 것 같기는 하고. He feels it's a relief that he at least has a, quote, good ear. The word 그나마 is a wonderful nuance word that means at least, or given the circumstances. He pairs this with 듣는 귀, which literally means listening ear. In Korean, when you say 귀가 좋다, it means you are good at catching sounds or accents. He uses the modest ending 좋은 편인 것 같다, which translates to, I think I'm on the side of having a good ear. It's a very humble way to acknowledge a talent without sounding overconfident. In scene 8, he explains the reason behind his hard work. 근데 어쨌든 뭔가 한국어가 아니라 어쨌든 저한테는 다른 나라의 언어잖아요. 근데 이제 그 언어를 쓰는 사람들이 어쨌든 들었을 때 뭔가 거북하거나 뭔가 마음에 안 들거나 그러면 안 되니까. He's worried that his English might sound awkward to native speakers. He uses the ending 잖아요, which is like saying, you know, right? To establish common ground. Then he lists his concerns using 거나, the Korean word for or when connecting verbs. He mentions 거북하거나, to be uncomfortable, or, and 마음에 안 들거나, to not like, or, showing how much he prioritizes the comfort of his international audience. That leads us to scene 9, where he admits his hidden efforts. 그래서 개인적으로 노력을 한 게 되게 많기는 해요. He's saying that, personally, he really has put in a lot of work. The word 개인적으로 emphasizes that this was his own private initiative. A key nuance here is the ending. 많기는 해요. This 기는 하다 structure is used to confirm a point emphatically but humbly. It's like saying, it is true that I did a lot. It's a very natural way for a Korean speaker to admit to their own hard work while staying grounded. Now, in scene 10, we see his relaxed personality shine through. 저는 뭔가 사람 자체가 되게 자유롭고 열려있는 편이라. 그리고 생각도 막 해야 될 때만 하고 평소에는 생각이 그렇게 많지도 않아서. He describes himself as a free, open-minded person who doesn't overthink things. Look at the phrase 열려있는 편이라. 열려있다 means to be open, and the 다 ending means because or so. He also mentions thinking only 해야 될 때만, where 그때 means when, and 만 means only. It's a very healthy mindset, only turning on the deep thinking mode when it's absolutely necessary. In scene 11, he compares his experience to the other members. 되게 오히려 멤버들은 모르겠어요. 멤버들은 좀 많이 스트레스 받은 멤버도 몇 있는 것 같아 보이긴 했는데 저는 너무 재밌었고 그냥 즐겼습니다. 하고 싶은 거 했던 것 같아요. He notes that while some members seem stressed, he genuinely enjoyed the process. He uses 모르겠어요 not just to say I don't know, but to politely say, I can't speak for them. His final thought, 하고 싶은 거 했던 것 같아요, uses the 던 marker for the past, and 것 같다 for humble uncertainty, meaning, I think I just did what I wanted to do. As we move to scene 12, he reflects on the group's diversity. 살았던 환경도 너무 다르고, 각자만의 템포나 어쨌든 그 본인이 느끼는 그 시간이라고 해야 되나? 그런 게 속도가 다를 거 아니에요. 그래서 그냥 그런 얘기를 한 거 아닐까라는 생각이 드네요. He explains that since they all grew up differently, their tempos are different. He uses the rhetorical question, 다를 거 아니에요? To mean, wouldn't they be different? This invites the interviewer to agree with his logic. He ends with, 라는 생각이 드네요, which perfectly captures the feeling of a thought occurring to him right in the moment of the conversation. Scene 13 contains his famous metaphor. 제가 어떤 기억을 오래 가지고 있지 않아요. 되게 잘 까먹고 약간 그 컴퓨터 보면은 SSD가 있잖아요. 저는 그 용량이 좀 작은 것 같아요. He humorously compares his memory to a computer with a small SSD. The phrase 가지고 있지 않아요 uses the negative progressive form to say he doesn't keep holding memories. He describes his memory capacity as 용량이 좀 작은 것 같아요, using 용량 capacity to make a technical but very relatable and funny excuse for being forgetful. In scene 14, he talks about his ongoing growth. 저는 아직까지도 형성이 되고 있는 그런 느낌인데 자아 형성보다는 그거는 뭐 계속해서. He feels his identity is still being shaped. The word 아직까지도 is very powerful. It means even until now. It shows that despite his fame, he sees himself as a work in progress. He uses the passive form, 형성이 되고 있는, to describe his self as something that is being formed by his experiences, suggesting a very fluid and open way of living. Finally, in scene 15, he embraces his role as the youngest. 모든 스텝들 통틀어서도 막내였고, 그게 너무 익숙해가지고 막내 같은 느낌이 늘 편한 것 같아요. 지금도 마찬가지고. He's always been the youngest, even among the staff, and he finds that role comfortable. The word 통틀어서 is a great vocabulary addition, meaning altogether or including everyone. He concludes that the 막내 같은 느낌, or the feeling of being the youngest, is what feels most natural to him. It's a heartwarming end to the script, showing that he's happy right where he is. That completes our analysis of the entire script. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.